Hey guys, welcome back to Mimir. Lauren Kleban started her career as a professional dancer. She moved to Las Vegas and booked a show at the Paris Hotel. But like every Vegas dancer, that wasn't her only gig. She was stacking like 5 jobs at once, showing up at a 10 a.m. audition after a job that ended at 3 a.m. And as a dancer, no one hands you drive. No one teaches you how to read your own call sheet or to advocate for yourself or how to pivot when the steady gig falls through. And looking back, Lauren credits most of her success as a business owner to those years. Today, Lauren is the founder of LEKfit, the dance-based method she started out of her garage in Hancock Park. While the market was selling bikini-body countdowns and 30-day challenges, Lauren built the opposite, a complete method you do every day in under an hour. Her company grew into one of the most loved workouts in Los Angeles. Like, her studio on La Brea draws a client list that almost reads like its own call sheet. Busy Phillips, Michelle Williams, Kate Beckinsale, Emmy Rossum, and Lauren was one of the first trainers anywhere to put her classes online. Both Time and Entrepreneur have told her story, so I am beyond jazzed and honored that she wanted to come on to Mimir. She built every bit of LEKfit self-funded and mostly by word of mouth. Lauren is so impressive, but also so fun to talk to. I learned from her how, as a dancer, being your own manager, agent, and basically CEO before anyone hands you the title becomes the engine for building a company. The other thing I took home from this interview is something I've actually been trying to lean into on my own founder journey, which is refusing to fake who you are is probably the most important thing that builds your community and carries you through the challenges. You guys are going to learn a lot from Lauren. How to let demand pull you into overhead, not the other way around, and how to manufacture exclusivity before you need it. If you're a founder whose revenue is capped by your own time or square footage, you'll particularly find this interview useful since Lauren teaches you how to productize early so you don't have to worry about those ceilings. And finally, what it means to split your company by zone of genius and why it's some of the best money you'll ever spend on your business. More than anything, if you're in the early stages of building something and you're scared that staying yourself will cost you, you really need to hear this. So please join me in welcoming Lauren to the podcast. Lauren, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
I absolutely love this outfit that you're wearing. Can you tell me where it's from?
Yes. Honestly, I think it's all Urban Outfitters. The pants are Adidas and
Okay.
the Urban.
Okay, work. I have always been a little bit like, am I too old to be here now when I go to Urban?
Definitely too old to be there, but I'm like, screw it, we're going in. I always find stuff. Yeah, I'm definitely too old.
We were there first, let's be real.
100%. And like that style's all coming back. Also, you say we, I feel like you're at least 10, 15 years younger than me, maybe even more. So I was the first.
True.
But that style is totally back. So like, and I never left it. So here we are.
True. I was so excited to find out that you lived in Vegas because obviously I'm from Vegas and like hearing you talk about Summerlin immediately like transported me back. But we were living there in like slightly different capacities.
You were a baby. I was an adult.
Yes, so we may have crossed paths in some way, somewhere.
When did you go to high school there?
Yes.
Okay. And were you in private school? I'm so curious about like having children in Las Vegas. And I have friends who ended up like doing it and they're all in private school.
Yeah, so I did. Yeah, I went to one of those schools where it was like 25 kids in a class and you knew them since preschool and you literally like graduated together. So it's very small. I feel like in Vegas, it's like a nerd school. Like it's very much college prep vibes. We were all like pants nerds. So slightly different from like, I feel like the traditional Vegas experience but very grateful for it now because it definitely taught me my work ethic.
I mean, I loved living in Las Vegas. I love Summerlin. I think it's one of the greatest places. When you say like people just like automatically think you like live on the strip and it's like that would be like living in LA on Hollywood Boulevard. Like, no, like of course not. Like Summerlin was like a total and complete suburb. Like it really reminds me of like Calabasas here.
Mhm.
Like it's just like a newer suburb. I don't know. I think it's great. And like sometimes like we've it just like has happened that for my kids' birthdays, we started doing trips with them. And my middle one, who's like very into music and dance, we've been like finding shows in Vegas. And like every
Um,
time we go, which is in the summer when it's like, oh my God, so hot there. But we're always
yeah,
like, could we? Should we? Like, is this our next
no way.
destination for our kids? But so far, we're still in Los Angeles. But yeah,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
really
grad school for sure. Tell me a little bit about the Lauren that was like living in Vegas, working as a dancer during that chapter.
I was there in the early aughts. I had been in LA and then I came here and I had actually never, I'd been in LA, which is here now. And then I went to Vegas and I had never actually been to Las Vegas prior to moving there.
Oh, crazy.
So I like really didn't know much about it at all, but I knew it was on the West Coast and I knew I had an agent. And I booked a show immediately at the Paris Hotel. And at the time, there were all the strip shows. And I was there right at the time when Cirque kind of started to come
Mhm.
in and push out all the old school showgirl type shows. So I was like on the tail end of those types of shows and at the very beginning of Cirque. And at the time, there were a couple of hotels. I think it was the Paris, the Rio, and maybe a couple of others that had like daytime family shows. And they weren't in theaters, they were like in different destinations throughout the hotel. So, like, we would have different call times for different destinations, like outside in the casino, wherever. And I was in that show and I loved it. I'm still like, as a dancer, and I'm still to this day, and I think it's probably because I'm a tourist. I never felt comfortable with being gig to gig. Like I had to have something steady. And thankfully, all throughout my dance career, I was really blessed with something steady because that made me feel better. And in Vegas, dancers work day and night. Like everyone is like working. Like you go from your show to a go-go gig to maybe you're in a company, like you're working all the time. That is literally the mentality of the Las Vegas dancer, and you're at every single audition. So I learned how to hustle in Las Vegas. Like I learned how to, it didn't matter if I got done with my final gig for the night at 3 a.m. Like I was at that audition at 10:15 a.m. Like you just made it happen. And thankfully for me, never in my life did I do drugs or drink. So like I never had to
Mhm.
worry about it. I was always ready to go. But I really learned how to hustle. And I learned in Las Vegas, which when I was in LA, it really wasn't the same. And I didn't, my first stint in LA, I was really, really young, right out of high school. And I ended up booking an agent then, but I got really spooked and like just couldn't push myself to do it. And my parents, like, good or bad, they just weren't the ones to like push me. They just really let me do like my own path. Like, if I was like, no, I changed my mind, they let me instead of like walking me through it. But I really learned in Las Vegas that the dancers there like helped other dancers. Like it wasn't, and when I came back to LA, in LA, I found an amazing group of dancers that did that, but it didn't feel as cutthroat in Las Vegas. Like it really, everyone really believed that there was so much work that there was enough for everyone, and everyone was constantly helping each other get jobs. Like
That's
constantly
great.
hiring my friends, audition your friends, like, oh, you're perfect for this role. Like all about like go meet this producer, go to this club, they're hiring go-go's. Like everyone helped everyone and everyone had amazing work ethic in Las Vegas. So we were working like literally at any given time you had at least five jobs. Like that's just the way that it was. But the job that I had at the Paris was a steady gig. The show ran, I think it was only dark one day a week. And so you were on the schedule like 5 days a week, which was amazing. And then because it was a daytime show, you could work anywhere you wanted at night, which you know is like a plenty.
Yeah.
It's
That's
amazing.
amazing. And yeah, I feel like that served you really well going into like the next chapter of your life when you decided to become a founder. you had this like amazing network of people, and then also I think you had developed like an intense work ethic. So like what was that transition look like when you went from dancer to founder?
It felt so organic because as a dancer, you're your own CEO, you're your own everything. So I think that dancers really learn that. And I'm teaching it to my middle one, who's also a ballerina, and she's in shows. And like, she tells me her schedule. I don't tell her her call times. She tells me, Mom, we need to be at the theater at this time. And I've really, with like the internet and everything, which I didn't have as a kid, we had like an answering machine where they would like call and tell me and my mom when she had to drop me off somewhere. But like now, like Romy, my middle, like she gets the same emails I get, and she can like navigate like a call sheet and see when she needs to be where, what she needs to bring. Is it dress? Is it not? And so I think like I learned that in my late teens, early 20s. And you're your own manager, even if you have an agent and all the things, like you're advocating for yourself, and you're the one that ultimately has to have the drive inside you. There's nobody coming to give that to you. So I had all of those tools. And being in the different positions that I had as a dancer, I had the tools of managing others. So I had a lot. I mean, of course, there's so many things that have been thrown my way that I didn't anticipate, but I can't say that hasn't been anything that's thrown me completely off guard. Like I've been able to find the tool to pivot to handle whatever's been thrown my way. And I think like a tremendous, if not all of that comes from dancing.
That's pretty fantastic. I think something I'm actively learning as like an early stage founder is how to stay calm through change, and not even
Yes.
change. I think it's just like training your nervous system. I think as high performers, you like when something goes wrong or you like want to please and you want to be productive and you want people to be proud of you. So you work really hard to do that. And I think your nervous system like freaks out when things start to go awry. And it's something I'm like really trying to work on is how do you stay calm through chaos so then you can still continue to be like your best self.
100%. Yeah. And a lot of that will come with time and
Mm.
age. Like age will just give you that gift of calmness, and like literally it doesn't matter. There was a time early on in LEKfit, like we had been in existence since 2013, and then we like opened it up to the public, and then we went online. And it was kind of right around the time where the whole world changed in 2020, and we were like gearing up to open a brick and mortar. And I just experienced, and I had now two children, and I had experienced such a tremendous amount of stress. Like my hair started falling out. Like I was still physically totally fine, but it really affected me in my hair and in my sleep. And it was because like I wasn't clearing everything, and I was trying to like go to sleep at night, and my body like was refusing to rest. Like I was like waking up dreaming, panicking about all the things that whatever I was dealing with, and I hadn't yet found a way to like just let it go, and we'll figure it out. And so much of that comes with experience and just like age. Like I'm telling you, whatever is happening on your journey, you hit a certain point in life and you're just like, whatever. Sun's gonna rise tomorrow. We're gonna wake up. Whatever it is, like go and let God. It's gonna be just fine. Literally. Sometimes you just have to be like close your eyes, cross your fingers. Like I kind of equated to like, and I hate going on these things, but like when I was a kid and we would go to Six Flags or something on the roller coaster, and I'd be so upset that I was on it and there and like whatever, whatever. But if I just closed my eyes, it would just like end really soon. And sometimes in like life and in business, I'm like, I just close my eyes and completely ignore that this is actually happening eventually, or like work itself out.
That is so real. And I think it is probably true where like half of the battle is just like the mental aspect of knowing that like A, it will end and you will come out on the other side stronger as a result.
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
So when did you decide or like what did that look like when you were like, I want to start a business and I want to do fitness and like it's becoming LEK Fit? Like what did that transition look like, and what were you thinking through, and like what was the problem you were trying to solve?
So on my dance career, I always knew at some point in time there would have to be a pivot. And I
Mm.
always knew that pivot wouldn't always all of a sudden be like to some corporate position or something completely like I just knew that my path would have to still be performative, physical, and I was really into fitness. Simultaneously, at the same time I was getting into my professional dance career, dance fitness was like becoming such a thing. Like we had just like obviously like I watched my mom do Jane Fonda, and when I was like a teen, MTV The Grind was huge. And
Yes.
then, yeah, oh my God, Eric Nies, like just that is my Eric and Carmen Electra are my absolute like idols. Like that's how I got to where I am today. So
Oh my
those
God.
workouts and Carmen Electra strip tease, like I knew that that's where I was headed. And dance fitness was really having a thing, like Zumba was major, like all of that stuff was really bubbling up. And so I knew intuitively, and then I got into it while I was dancing. So even when went home for a little bit, which is St. Louis in the Midwest, I met these two women who own like this boutique gym at the bottom floor of this like plastic surgeon's office, and they hired me to start teaching dance aerobics before I went to Vegas. And so
Okay.
like I already started like to get into it, and I stayed in it the entire time I was a professional dancer. I was either personal training or working at a studio or teaching at a dance studio. I was always doing something to kind of perfect my craft and create. And like the workouts I was teaching then, like ultimately became what is LEKfit. I was already working on that like ballet for non ballerinas, like that cardio interval. And so I ended my professional dance career probably when I was about 6 months pregnant with my first child, who is now 13 years old. And I dabbled back in it after he was born, but ultimately it was like, this is like impossible to do with a baby. Stayed in it. And once I had my son, I kind of pivoted from working for other people at studios or gyms and started personal training just on my own. And then I like just quickly realized like really where I thrive and shine and where I'm best is in group fitness. Like I love being with people one on one and helping them one on one, but I really love that like performance aspect of being in front of a class. And I love even more than that the community of people being together in the same room with the collective goal and getting sweaty and all the things. So we built a studio in our garage at our house so that I didn't have to be away from my son. And then again, I was pregnant with my second, but I didn't want to be away from the kids and I didn't want to go to somebody else's studio and teach. So I really wanted it to be our own thing, but I did not want a brick and mortar space at that time. So we did it in our garage. And that was really from her name is completely escaping me, but there was an actress. There is an actress. She's still living. She also lived in the same neighborhood that I live in, which is Hancock Park. And she is the one that started Whole Fitness. She is the one that created all of that. And she did it out of her garage in Hancock Park. And then she opened a studio where I am on La Brea years prior to mine. But I really watched her career and I had her book and I watched all the things. I cannot think of her name for the life of me, but she and her husband are both actors, and Kelly, it came to me. She's the one that created that. And I knew she like they don't live in our neighborhood anymore, but she's like a few blocks away in Hancock Park, and she started the same thing. And so I kind of like followed her trajectory, and we did that, and we did it. It was kind of only like if you know, you know, you had to know someone to be able to come to class, and then we opened it up to everyone, and there were hundreds of people coming to my house, and that started to become problematic. So we had to find a space. And so we did. We found a space on La Brea, and here we are. And prior to all of that, we actually went online very, very early on. With the LEK Fit online studio has been in existence since 2016.
Wait, there's so many great nuggets in this story. I'm like, wait, oh my God. So let's talk about the like early stage when like it was when you know, because I think that's such
Yes.
a great way of gaining like hype and exclusivity. So then when you
Yeah.
finally opened, like the floodgates quite literally opened and you had like a bazillion people trying to come to your house. Like, how did you build that?
Just from being in LA, I had acquired a good like crew of female clients.
Mm,
And so they were just the one, like it was all word of mouth. And this was, I think Instagram existed, but not at all like it does today. And it's just word of mouth. And in fact, like back then, I was the one handling all the emails, the booking, and all that. And if I didn't know someone, I would look them up on like if I would get an email like I'm friends with so and so, I would look them up on Facebook, so that I knew who they were, what they were about, and then they would be let into class. But yeah, it was all word of mouth, which I am so beyond blessed to have had. And still to this day, like that's how we're here, both online and in LA.
I think that also speaks volumes about like the product because I think in general like fitness is quite commoditized, but if you have something that's like really truly unique and valuable, like that 9 times out of 10 will speak for itself. And like while marketing is important, I think that the heavy lifting is like already done, which is great. It's just about consistency.
For sure.
So, if you were gonna, like, let's say, for the people who are listening, if you were gonna redo everything, but in today's world, like, would you still do it the same way, or do you think you would utilize platforms like Instagram to help you?
I mean, we certainly did utilize Instagram to help us, but it was organic. If I had to go back in the very beginning, it was, I also got put into that like influencer category,
Mm,
but I wasn't, it just didn't. So I would say, like, in hindsight, I wish that I had not, because I couldn't do it myself, but I wish that I had had someone like a publicist or a manager that like was there to guide me, because my immediate response was like no, like I had like really big brands that wanted to work with us, and I kept declining because one, like in the very beginning, like I hated talking to the camera. So in the very, very, very beginning of the online studio, I would film workouts and then I would do voiceovers and post. And not because I was like nervous. I was just, I am such a dancer that I can communicate all day, every day with my body. But asking me to put words and like talk it out, like just was so foreign to me. I just created this other way. And then slowly but surely, like I got into it. And so I kind like, I see everyone now like on Instagram, like talking with the mic and showing the product and all the things. There wasn't like, there was no like roadmap really for that. All we really had was like um what was the like platform where you were just like showing pictures, like blogging. And then there was that other platform where you just like had like pictures, like the bloggers, the fashion influencer. There wasn't really anyone else like online, like like talking about product. And I just didn't know at the time, like how to integrate it and how to make it all work. And there were no like social media companies. Yeah, like none of that stuff existed. So in hindsight, I wish I could have just had the confidence in myself to like figure it out, like so many did. Or I would have found someone to be like, hey, I really need your help getting me here, because we were hit with so many brands wanting to work with us, and I just like didn't, I missed that confidence back then. So in hindsight, I think if anyone listening and is starting out, and you learn this as a founder, and again, you win some, you lose some, like everything in hindsight is 2020. I think if there's something that really works for whatever your niche is, and you see like your competitors doing it or whatever, but you don't have that, like you don't feel it in yourself, but it's definitely something would help, even just like revenue wise, even if you just think about it monetarily, find someone out there who like who has that skill set to help you figure out
mhm.
how to do it, instead of declining and being like, no, I just won't because I feel like I can't. Instead, like seek. And now it's so much easier to find people. I would definitely know where your strong suits are and then seek help where you need it, and don't like try to turn away as few things as possible. Like figure out, if, of course, if it doesn't match for you for whatever reason, that don't do it. But if you know it's a match, but you just can't figure out like how you yourself can like become that person. And for me, it was like, how do I become that influencer? I wish that I had like found someone to help me navigate that space.
Yeah. I mean, and also like who knows, like that totally might have changed the trajectory of how things
A
worked out.
100%.
But I think what's so cool about your story and the way that I'm hearing you explain it is that it really was all from the heart and it was all like very
So
organic. And I think that gives me a lot of confidence as a founder because like half of it is just about trusting yourself and allowing the process to unfold in the way that it's going to. Like I think so many of us try to architect success and like
yeah,
manufacture it through making all of these choices. And I think what I'm learning is that you just have to kind of sit back and just like take it day by day and do the work and like you will get there.
I saw this like poster quote, I think it was yesterday, and it said, it'll all work out simply because you believe it will. And like nothing is more true than that. And like I never had a plan B.
Yeah.
There's always a what's now, like, okay, that didn't work. Okay, we're gonna do this. Like, okay, this isn't working out for us. Like, we're gonna do this. Like, we're always constantly creating and adding and pivoting and adjusting, but we're still LEKfit. We're still your complete fitness method. I'm still Lauren, like ex professional dancer. Like, I'm gonna make you feel like the sexiest and sweatiest you've ever felt, both at the same time. Like, all those things are still very true. Like, we're still clean lines, black and white. Like all of those are so true. The things that like you see or picture when you hear LEK Fit, that all stays true. But there's so much behind the scenes that like I'm constantly pivoting, changing, creating. Okay, that didn't work. Let's not, it's costing us too much money. Let's get rid of it. But like, let's see what we can do here. Like, if you don't have that, like, just like mentality to like keep it moving, keep creating, then you really will get stuck and that can be detrimental. But if you know like this is it, like there's no plan B, like this what I'm going to do. This is what I'm here to do. There's no other option, but there's like 1,000 other ways I can get to where I want to be. Maybe the first 10 times I tried didn't work out, but by like try 15, there we go. Cuz
Yeah.
you
It's kind of like, yeah, it's like I know I'm going to the moon, and whether I get there on a rocket ship or like a boat that I converted into a rocket ship, and then also
exactly
halfway through it became a jet ski, then like I literally don't care
100%.
if I'm
Yeah,
going
yeah, yeah, exactly. You just have to believe and trust, and it'll happen. And like, be so careful not to like have negative thoughts. Like, you'll have like down days, you'll have times where you like just like start crying in your office by yourself, but like, you literally pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and you just move on to the next thing. And like, you have to trust that it's going to work out.
Yeah,
And
I
if
think
something
like
wasn't, like, it wasn't supposed to. So like, here we
yes.
go.
Yeah, I think so much of like faith is underrated in the entrepreneurial experience. Like nobody really
For
talks
sure.
about how much it is almost like a faith-driven process as much as it is like a luck.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I also want to talk about community because I think that is something like so central to your business. And this is something that everybody wants to have and create and curate. And it looks easy when you see it done well. But like, I think we all can agree that actually getting it to be in that place is quite difficult. So I'd love for you to talk about your philosophy around building community and like what are the things that you would attribute to the success that you have now?
I think you just have to be authentically you.
Mm,
And then your community will find you. And you have to stay authentically you. And I think that's a part of the reason why I had like a hard time with the influencer situation of it all. I didn't know, like, I just couldn't bring myself to like talk about a product that I wasn't like actually using. And like, not because like, I mean, everyone has to get their bag how they are going to get it, but it just like, I don't have it in me to lie. It's just not, God did not give me that power to get through life. So I just couldn't do it. And so for me, it's quite simple to be authentically me. And then again, like with age, you just learn like, well, not everyone's going to vibe with that, and that's okay. But the people who do vibe with that will find you, and those people that vibe with you will inevitably vibe with each other, and then there's your community, and then that's how it grows.
Yeah. And I think you also brought up a really great point. I have a great friend who used to be like a really successful influencer in the beauty space. And part of the reason she stopped posting was because she was like, I am not using these products every single day. And it's impossible to use the volume on a consistent level with like which you're receiving through PR and through other whatever means. And she's like, it was just honestly so inauthentic and like hard to keep up with that was part of the reason she quit. So I'm glad that you brought that up because I think it's such like an important point. And
Yeah.
I think it also comes back to the idea too of like these things take time, and for you to be yourself is the root of it all, but you have to be willing to trust the process again, and like it will take time for gravity to be pulled in your direction, so then like the people who are right for you will find you, but like it's not an overnight.
No, it's not an overnight thing. Like everything else in life, it will have ebbs and flows. Like you
Mhm.
just have to be ready to go for the ride.
Yeah, and it's probably like a consistency thing too. I think about it like even for people who are posting on social, it's a thing where you might have spikes because like something you did like popped off, and
Right.
that's like a jump. It's almost more like a leapfrog rather than like a consistent growth pattern where like
Yeah.
you'll do stuff and then you'll hit a spike and then you'll do stuff and hit a spike, but those spikes are the result of consistency throughout all of
Yes.
it.
And you really, I mean, it's like social media is just like, and even from when we started, like it's so different. Now I'm just like, I'm still like the one, like I personally want to look at my grid and be like, this is aesthetically pleasing. So I just keep posting that if it pleases me aesthetically, I assume that it will somebody else. And if I'm just like sometimes I'll like show like a couple of my team members who are younger than me. I'm like, you guys like, should I post this? They're like, oh my God, Lauren, yes. I'm like, but it's so ridiculous. Like, who cares? They're like, no. Here's why you need to post it. Like, I just did a post and I like when people love to see what I'm eating, and like I don't mind sharing that at all, but I am not ever going to be the person. And I have an influencer friend who once told me, she's like, well, you should just like every day, like you're obviously eating every day, just like show you making it all the things. And I'm like, by the time I'm making food, like I'm starving. Like I don't want to like sit there, get the tripod, get the light, like figure out what I'm wearing, hair and makeup. Like, oh my God, like no, I'm hungry. So I like and like I would never like the thought, and I said this to like another like social media manager who I considered hiring, and she's like, no, but you can like batch content. I'm like, but the thought of like making a bunch of meals for no reason, like that doesn't work for me either. So then I just started like when I was eating, I'm like, okay, like I feel like whatever I'm wearing is like fine. Like my kids aren't home, so like the kitchen is clean. Like I can like just like literally show. I'm not gonna show me slicing. I'm not gonna show me like opening the refrigerator. Like I cannot do all that performance stuff. So I will literally just show me eating it, and then I'll put in the caption like what it is. And I was like showing one of my team members yesterday who's younger than me. And she's like, no, Lauren, like, this is what you need to post because you're actually eating it. She's like, do you know what the thing is now? She's like, you've seen all those, like, what I eat in a day. And it's just like body shot bowl, body shot plate. She's like, you never see anyone actually eating it. It's just all these like skinny bodies with like huge plates of gorgeous food, but nobody's eating it. They're just showing you. She's like, you have the body and you're showing us that you're literally putting the food into your mouth and then telling us what you're eating. I'm like, okay, makes sense to me. But it's
Yep.
just like I can't like it's
Yeah.
so mind-boggling. Like I just go with like whatever I think looks pretty aesthetically, whatever I think really represents us. And if it takes off, it takes off. And if it sits on Instagram and nobody sees it, but then like a month later, for some reason, it starts like trending or like going viral, like whatever, great, we did it. But I just, that's a really big place that I had to just let go. And again, like as long as we stayed authentically LEK fit and me, it felt fine. Like there's no way I could like post something that wasn't us.
Yeah. And I think that also ties back to like your guys' original brand pillar, which is like totally against what the mainstream was at the time, which was this whole like exercise is a form of punishment
Yes.
and like
Bikini body
being
ready.
yeah, exactly. And like you guys built everything around that. And I'm sure that at the time, like, I wonder what it was. I don't know. Maybe this is a thing where the great thinkers and like those who don't conform and demonstrate a level of like creative thinking is what people then get pulled to because it's different, right? Like, or is it a sense where at the time when you guys were doing sort of this like antithesis of the narrative, was it more challenging to get people to buy into your idea?
I think not necessarily what people really wanted in the beginning. They were so used to getting, and I still see it with lots of brands today. And people will still ask, and like, it's just not. It doesn't make sense to me because I really, really, really believe that you should always be peak fitness and wellness. Like I think the idea of like getting bikini body ready or ready like the bride's arms or like the specific workouts for specific times in your lives get you into this mindset of like I only need to be fit and look my best for this occasion. And really, if you want to have a happy, healthy life, like you deserve to feel fit and beautiful all the time. Like you should be able to like take a photo of you and your kids just randomly and feel like you look just as amazing as you did on your wedding day. Like you're like no makeup, whatever, all those things, obviously. But like you deserve to feel just as good in your body in both instances.
Yes.
And I think especially my generation got really duped into believing like, get ready for spring break, get ready for like prom, get ready for like rushing or like all those things and then like your wedding. And that's what put so many people my age like on this like yo-yo dieting and fitness journey where it's like you're up and then you've got to lose 10 pounds and then you get pregnant. I'll get fit after I have all my kids. Well, like you're gonna find out like two babies in, like it's gonna be so hard to get to where you want. But if you are maintaining your fitness, then it's gonna be so much easier. So when I came to it and I knew we were going to create a brand and it was like at the time I can't think of what it was but there was like bikini it wasn't bikini body ready but bikini body the girl from Australia who like literally would like yeah I think like her program was like not even videos maybe at the time it was like ebooks and it was like stick figures of like people doing the workout but like that big like Kayla Itzinas or something like that. She was really big at the time that I was starting and I just knew like that wasn't I didn't want to give people like 30-day challenges, 5-day challenges, 2-day challenges. Like I really wanted to create a method that was complete that could be done every single day and just gave you a well-rounded fitness experience. So you could work out only with us if you chose to and you would get everything because at the time again I had so many friends who would go from like Soul Cycle to Barry's Boot Camp to a yoga class, and they would just like do this cycle, and myself included, but not so intentional. More like I would go for a hike and then a run, and then like I would teach a dance class, and like how would I like figure out how to maintain that body but and like certainly not running around town doing multiple workouts. Like how could I create a workout that helped me maintain that physique? And I wanted to do it in less than 1 hour because I was now a new mom with a baby. And so that's how we got to our workouts now are 30, 40, and 50 minutes.
I think that makes total sense. And as a founder, too, I always tell people like you have to work out as part of your job because
Yeah.
it's so demanding. And if you don't take care of your body, then you're not going to be able to perform your best as an entrepreneur either.
Yeah. No way. No, and it's sad to me. Like I often wonder like it's so foreign to me to live in a body and not exercise it. Like I can't wrap my head around and I know that it's a challenge for so many people, but I literally can't wrap my head around
Hmm.
not working out every day. Like there isn't anyone who works out and is like, "Oh my god, I wish I hadn't done that." Like no one. No matter what workout you do, mine or otherwise, like no one does it, completes it and they're like, well, that was not how I wanted to spend my time. Like you are guaranteed to feel amazing.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I
just
mean? So like I just don't get it's and there's like so much noise out there. Like we're so duped into like all these things, but really you need to work out, you need cardio, you need weights, you need to have something like a bar type method that like helps your muscles stretch and elongate and all those things. But like, yeah, it's crucial and it's like the first thing that people will remove from their schedules when they get busy.
Totally. You just reminded me, I saw this ASICS campaign that they just launched. I think it was ASICS. But it was showing like before and after of working out. And it was really crazy because it wasn't like the transformations that you're used to seeing. It wasn't like this person who was obviously like overweight and then right next to them was like a transformation of them like super shredded. It was literally just before workout and after workout. And the
I love
difference
that.
was in their faces and yes, exactly. And it was like the whole campaign was simply about making the workout about that and not about like the quote unquote reward of exercise, but simply just like the
Really?
endorphins it gives you.
Yeah. It's like the quote in Legally Blonde where she's like, I like people who work out are happy and like don't murder or whatever. Like that's
Yes,
it's so true.
happy people
Like,
don't get better.
yeah, like it's so true. Like it's so crazy to me. Even with my own kids, like when they're having a day or a hard time, like go outside, like go run around, like go jump in the pool, like go move your body. It's there's all positives and zero negatives.
That's so beautiful. Okay, last few questions before we wrap up, but I want to know what's in your founder stack, which is 7 rapid fire questions about your founder journey thus far. And I ask all of my guests this, so I must know. Are you ready?
Ready?
Okay, what is a tool that you live and die by?
Oh my goodness. Do I even know? I don't know that I have a tool that I live and die by. I mean, I think for me, I get to maintain all the creative side of LEKfit
Mm,
and my husband and a couple of other team members handle all of the very business side of
nice.
LEKfit. So, I mean, I don't know that I necessarily like if you told me you were taking my phone away for a day, I probably would panic because I wouldn't have Instagram to see what our community is talking about, asking about, saying. Because that's literally where we live. I TikTok, no, Facebook, no. Like we are on Instagram. So I would say like as silly as it sounds, like that's really where I feel and see all things from our community.
Not silly at all. I love that answer. I think that's a real answer too. Okay, what is the best money you've spent on your business under $5,000?
Under $5,000? Good. I mean, because it all adds up.
Yeah.
That is a very tough question. I mean, I would say bringing my husband on as my business partner,
Yes,
who
that
is
totally
that
counts. Yes.
definitely because he is certainly the genius behind taking us online and developing all the product. And because he's my husband, he doesn't have to take a
Great.
salary.
Yeah. No, I said the same thing to my fiance. Like, as I'm building this business, I was like, do you want to be like a co founder? Because I just feel like you probably deserve it since you're already doing so much work.
1,000%, 1,000%. And my John saw it early on. He is in the tech space, and when I started LEK Fit, he had already created and sold his first startup, and he was almost like semi-retired. And so it's kind of like of the perfect timing of all things. But he definitely is the brains behind bringing us online. In fact, when he said it, I'm like, "Are you crazy?" There was only like a handful of brands online, and then just like platforms where you could like pick from like multiple options, but no one was doing like live studio classes online yet. So yeah, he's definitely and sometimes he can be quite expensive, but there are plenty of times where he can definitely be under $5,000.
What is a book or resource that influenced your entrepreneurial experience?
I mean, truly, Sheila Kelly's book. I don't know. Was it called? I mean, what did she call the S Factor? S Factor. She S Factor. Sure, it's still like I probably still have it at my house. I bought it when I was in my early 20s and I knew her whole journey. And this was way before I had even moved to Vegas, before I was ever married, children. I just like knew like that's where like something would be created about
Mhm.
that. And I had that book, and she had created a book where like she would give you all of the like moves and steps that she had created. And I knew that she had the studio outside of her house. Like I literally followed her whole journey.
I think that's so
Yeah.
cool, and it's like you were being called in that direction and you guys were like physically close by, so it's just
It's
like
so wild.
funny.
We both started at our homes in Hancock Park. We both opened our brick and mortars on La Brea. Like it's really crazy. Yeah.
I love
In
that
fact,
though.
our pop up was a block away from her original studio.
Oh my
Just
gosh. I mean, just the
coincidental.
universe. The universe, man. It works
Yeah,
like that.
right? It really does.
Okay, what is one belief or assumption you had when you started that is now completely reversed?
I mean, oh my God, there's so many things because in my climb, in my peak, the whole world came crashing down in 2020. I mean, our huge peak was in 2019, and then like whiplash, it just like all turned upside down. And I don't want to make it sound like I was naive to think that like anyone just like keeps going up 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 up, but I definitely like at that time it, there was no way that I thought like okay at our peak is gonna like we're gonna like crash, and we didn't burn by any means, but that crash and then that like pivot, like I didn't think that like at the very height of that time I wouldn't have believed that like it would just like turn that fast. And now I know that like anything can change at any moment. And so you just like, you can't necessarily be prepared. You just have to be like accepting of whatever that quick change may be. And so I don't think that I knew that I just like to we certainly weren't coasting, but it was like the pop up was slammed. Like we had just come from my home that had been like literally bursting at the seams. Like I just like there was no way that I could predict or even at the time early on like navigate so immediately. So I think now I just know that like anything can happen and you got to accept it and then figure out how you're going to make it work. And we did, thankfully.
Yeah, like surrender to the unknown and then just like know you're going to figure it out.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And like you're gonna try this and that's not gonna work, and you're gonna try that, and then everything's gonna change again. Like it was the most wild time to be building out your brick and mortar. Like it was just all kinds of craziness. But yeah, you just have to be ready and accepting.
So, no matter how crazy your day gets, what is the one thing that you look forward to that you are not willing to sacrifice?
Probably my Epsom salt bath every night before I go to bed.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Okay, what is a brand in or outside of your industry that is inspiring you right now?
You know who I love, and it's not in my industry. It's a fashion brand called Naked. I think, do you know it? She's so like I love her. She's a young mom, and she's Ukraine. I think she like just moved to London, but I believe she is Ukrainian.
Hmm.
I'm so inspired by watching her. Like I love that, and I don't know her. We've become like Instagram friends, but like she seems so clearly authentically herself.
Hmm.
And I've bought pieces from them, and I love that it is like not at all fast fashion. Like it's like, I think the quality is amazing. The price point is totally fair. And I love how she showcases it. And I love that she's authentically her. And I think that makes Cult Naked just such an authentic and cool brand. And so ever since I found them probably like last fall and started purchasing items, I've been following her and the brand. And I think her name is Mary. I think it's just I'm so inspired by them and how they're doing it and how they're rolling out.
Yeah, I think it's very clear that they have like a unique POV and that
Yeah.
is at the forefront of everything. And I so like majorly respect that.
Yeah, 100%. Like she just seems like so yeah, just like really really real. Like there doesn't feel like anything fake about her or the brand, and I'm always inspired by people like that.
Yeah, same. Okay, last question. What song or album do you have on repeat right now?
I say we because my two daughters, I have an almost 6-year-old and almost 11-year-old, and they are thankfully, especially my youngest, just as obsessed with music as I am. And they listen to all the music that I listen to, whether it be music from like my parents' time. Like I go really deep with R&B. But right now lately we have been so obsessed with Elmin's new album. I'm actually taking them to see him in June, and we are also obsessed with Duran Bernard's new album. And so those are on repeat, and then mainstays just always on in the house and in the car are of course Michael Jackson. Who else do we love? Raphael Sadiq we love. My kids are just so about the same type of music. Maxwell, they love. Yeah, but we're really into Elmine and Grand Bernard right now.
That's like actually my dream. I think about that a lot. I'm like, I really hope that my kids like the same music.
I mean, they like will. So like my kids, they love Babyface. Like my littlest loves Tevin Campbell, who like I don't think tours and probably never will again. But like I think every single week, at least one time, she's like, "Mommy, does Tevin Campbell have any shows coming up?" I take my kids to a lot of concerts. But I
Amazing.
think you have, and you can. I have a friend who taught me this too with clothes. Like you can curate for your children. Like I remember when my son was little, I have like many being in LA friends, and I'd be like, "How do you like not have all these like ridiculous like Disney items?" She's like, "Lauren, you just curate their closet and then they have to pull from there." But I think same with music. Music is always on in the studio, in the car, at the house, like wherever we are, we always have music. And so before they could like really have a thought or an opinion, I was just always playing the music that I love. And they really gravitated towards it. Like they really love it. Now we get like do a lupa and like all that stuff like seeps in there, and like I have to like be okay with it because I'm not like into pop. Like I hear enough like dance music here at the studio, but they do find their way through that. But like they being almost 6 and 11 have really like grown to love the same music as me, and it makes it really fun, and like teaching them about music and like the origins of it and who the singer is. And my youngest one has like such keen musicality. Like she can hear, like if she's heard like an older Michael Jackson song, she can like hear that song sampled in like another artist. It's like
Oh my God.
mind blowing. She's so into it. So it really, I think you can like make that journey happen if you want it to happen. Because I just played it for them, and then they started to pick up, oh, I want to hear that song or that guy or that girl or whatever.
Oh my God, I love that. Well, Lauren, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I had the best time.
Me too. Thank you for having me.
That's a wrap on today's episode. Thank you so much for listening. You can find all the links to connect with Lauren in the show notes. If you feel called to support the podcast, please leave a review or comment below. If you're looking for more ways to contribute, I would be deeply honored if you wanted to buy me a matcha. The link is below. And if you enjoyed this episode and are looking for more before the next one, dive into the Well on Substack. There you'll find more founder wisdom and essays on entrepreneurship. See you guys next week.